I'm Leonanicholeblack. This is a general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It is not for a specific time frame, okay? It's not for September or October or any other month. It is if the concepts, ideas, and principles I am sharing here resonate with you, it is for you. Period, point blank, okay? And if it's not where you're at in your life right now, if it doesn't resonate, I gently usher you on to a reader who does. So, cap. I thought I was going to do Aries. I just did Sagittarius, and I thought, well, let me just finish the fire signs. But I could feel really strongly that actually your energy was coming through and it was time to read for you. So here I am. Quite a few cards on the table. I started with 7, and then I was like, this is an interesting message. Let me clarify them more. And so I have all these additional cards here that we're going to get into. What I will say to begin with is that predominantly we have Saturn, your ruler here, and a little Uranus energy as well. Okay, so the basis of the reading, right, the foundation, the primary message, the underlying thing is actually the Six of Cups in reverse in this position. I feel as though this message here, Cap, is actually about disillusion of soul contracts. Now, that might sound abstract, complex, esoteric to many of you. What I really mean by this is that whether you believe in a past life theory or not, the perspective I'm sharing is that there have been agreements made on a soul level, right, on a deeper spiritual level, to have certain types of experiences with people, to have certain people in your life, right, to go down a certain journey with certain people. And I feel like this period of your life, you know, Saturn is just stationed direct, as in Saturn, the planet, and also your planetary ruler. It's been retrograde for many months, so this has been a tough season for all of us, and of course for you. And I feel like as it's closed out, what it's doing is closing out soul contracts as well. So the whole basis of what you're experiencing in this particular growth cycle is the end of certain kinds of lessons, I feel, because the Sun card is here. Now, of course, Sun is rules, Leo. This is talking to the ego, the identity, the personality, the sense of power, the self-expression, creativity. Of course, it's the source, the thing that gives everything life. And I feel like the indication of the Sun card with the Six of Cups in reverse is that new relationships, new cycles, new partnerships. And I'm just not talking about intimate sexual things. I'm just talking about new interactions in the world are now possible based on who you newly are. So the reason these soul contracts are dissolving, Capricorn, is because you are emerging changed through your life circumstances and your life experiences. Now, the Judgment card is here, talking about a major wake-up call. Also, it feels specifically for you in the normal context of this card as the awakening process. Okay, so we might call this your soul coming online. So what do I mean by that? It means that you might have been living a fairly materially focused and materialistic life that is actually quite traditional for Capricorn incarnations or people with dominant Capricorn energy, right? Your life is pretty much focused on work, service, career, you know, getting ahead in life. And this Judgment card is talking or speaking to, rather, having experiences that are alarmingly awakening, alarmingly reveal to you the things that's going on behind the veil, clarified here, of course, by the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess sees behind the veil. She pulls the veil up aside. She sees the spiritual underlay or overlay of what's really going on. So this is the process that you have gone on. And I'm saying now, but I mean whenever you're watching this, if it resonates with me, it means that the recent months in your life have been about pulling back the veil, revealing to you the spiritual truths, coming to a sense that there is a spiritual side to yourself, that you are not just a body, that you are a soul, that there are certain dynamics at play, that there might even be a realization of other spiritual entities and beings, be it ancestors, angels, guides, or malefic forces, lower vibrational energies, succubus, vampire, demon, whatever you want to call it. this is you being alerted, like, yo, there's much more going on here. Now, the Uranus Tower card here will speak to revelations that are painful, alarming, disabling, shocking, upheaval, really. So it could be that you've already gone on this journey in this cycle in which you have come to understand this, but through painful things, right? Finding out someone was not who they said they were, or, you know, being quite afraid, even Capricorn. It can be actually being quite frightened by the veil being pulled back and seeing things on such a spiritual level. I'm going to come back to this Tower card, however, because we do have the Hermit card, the primary Saturn energy here in your reading. Of course, it also represents Virgo. It is clarified with the Libra card adjustment. This is speaking to changes, incremental and internal changes that you have gone through and been through on the basis of your personal relationships. So you know, Capricorn is on the South Node right now. So it's speaking to the karmic issues we're releasing, the comfort zones, the deeply ingrained habits, patterns that we sit comfortably in, and also the skills we've mastered. It is about you know, shaking up that space to take what is useful and move forward out of what is not. So you have been, Capricorn, going through deep soul level understanding and introspection, coming to wisdom, coming to knowledge of the deeper things, particularly about yourself. And actually, you have emerged older and wiser, but more wary. This may be a process that's actually weathered you a bit. You know, you may feel, you know, imagine that you went through this when you were like, say you were 20 listening to this, and then you feel like what you just been through recently makes you feel like you've added the extra 10 years to your life. Like you feel 30 now. It's that kind of energy, having been through a lot in this processes of processing. Then I don't mean to repeat that word. Now, what this is also saying is that you may have to acknowledge and accept that part of that has been through loss. It's really interesting. The cycles that have been going on lately have a lot to do. There's a lot of stripping going on, I would say. And I don't mean stripping as in on the pole, I mean pulling back, pulling away, taking away. Because I feel like with the defeat card, the Five of Swords coming up with the Tower card, the conflicts, it feels that actually some of the advancement, some of the learning and the growing has come actually through loss. And it might not be that you did anything wrong. It might not be on the basis of like retaliation, let's say, or paying you back for something done wrong. You may have been living honorably and doing your best and all the rest of it, and yet found yourself in situations where you might feel on the lower footing. You might feel like you had conflicts with people and you came out on the losing end. There's just this energy here of having really to accept the loss, accept the L, take the L is what I'm feeling with the Tower card. Now with the King of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Pentacles is actually your energy. If we were looking at that, right, this is definitely Capricorn, this would be you. In reverse, it's speaking to you have had a victory, right? You have come through stronger, but not in the areas you care about. So what have you gained? More this is Dominion, right? Mars and Aries. Okay, more personal power. Yes, you have better control, discipline over self-governance. What have you gained? Nine of Wands, inner strength here. This is wisdom, knowledge, understanding. This is Sagittarius energy. Okay, this is taking the external perspectives in the form of the sun and the internal perspectives, the spiritual perspectives in the form of the moon, and bringing them together into some one holistic worldview perspective, form of philosophy, way of organizing your life. You have gained that, but it might have come at a personal, professional loss. It might have come at a financial loss. If not a loss, a plateauing. You may feel like you've not been advancing enough in those sorts of areas. Okay, it's fine though, Capricorn. It's been necessary. Take that energy, be okay with it, because the World card in reverse is saying the next season, next stage, next cycle of growth for you was not quite ready to be opened up into, because you were still flowering, blossoming, growing, still harvesting, reaping yourself. So you've been still in this process of gaining the skills needed for the next level. So you weren't able to transition yet. So whatever has been lost, I felt, will be returned to you. Whatever particularly material losses, setbacks financially, it may not even be a necessary setback. I'll give you an example. Most of you know In August, I stopped seeing private one-to-one clients. Okay, that is no longer a source of income for me, and it was my primary source of income. So now I'm in a position with like I wouldn't say nearly no income, whatever we want to call it. I have no longer got the stability and the security that I had before, right? This is me now, King of Pentacles in reverse. So what have I gained? So much. Just like I said to you, I've gained so much, not only through the journey of reading, but it definitely weathered me, like, made me feel older. I've gained lots of dominion, wisdom, all the rest of it, but now it is on the basis of a personal sacrifice in terms of moving forward. Now, for me, the next opportunity, the next way of organizing my life, the next thing that I do that speaks to security has not yet come through, but I am in the process of learning, healing, growing, gaining what I need for myself by not serving others right now in order to get to that. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So here we are, Cap, Ace of Swords. There is, and this is actually what I'm going to take forward into the extended message review. And you can watch any extended reading with me at nicoleblack.com/shop. I'm also going to say that I'm doing, I'm advancing or expanding the extended offerings in the sense that there will be on the website when you go there a free reading that will be looking at self-worth, and a free reading that will be looking at finances and career. So you'll just go to the webpage and you'll be able to read that. I'm also putting together something I'm calling the Tarot Care Package that's going to be coming soon. So whenever you see these readings, that's when I'll update that information on my website with the new stuff, and then you'll be able to go there, see the money and the kind of love self-worth message, and then also get the extended and the care package. Now, I'm doing it this way because the way that I read is below some spiritual growth, and it means that I don't always cover love or money, and I know that these are things that are important to our day-to-day lives. So I'm doing that as a kind of free add-on based on, you know, whatever the message of the reading is. You'll still get the soul level message, and then I'll add in the more human level, what we need to know, on my website. So you can go to nicoleblack.com and get that. So Ace of Swords here. This is speaking to still a perspective that you've not quite gained. You have learned a lot. And I said this kind of to Sagittarius, so it's interesting that their energy kind of came up in this part of your reading. Sorry, the Virgo in me can't take the scattered cards. So yes, you have learned a lot here with the Ace of Swords. In reverse, however, there's an incomplete lesson, something that you've not quite understood, some truth, some wisdom, some perspective you're lacking. When I clarified it, you got the interference card. So there is something blocking you from seeing things in a proper perspective. And the things that they are is Six of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Six of Pentacles, of course, Moon in Taurus, the most being emotionally driven by financial material concerns, and the Hanged Man therefore staying in positions of entrapment because you are driven by the material, not the spiritual realm. So I'm now going to pick these messages up in your extended message to see what that's about and how you can kind of complete the growth cycle that you've been going through lately and advance to the next level. You can watch that with me at nicoleblack.com/extended. I love you, Capricorn. Thank you for being here.